also hearing from sources inside these campaigns, including some that are telling us, aides and advisors, that they are privately urging, some may call it begging, Donald Trump to stay on message in the final day of his campaigning. Let's check in on the Republican ticket and see how that's going.
Mike's been through a lot, but he could fight. Let me tell you, that guy could fight. But can you imagine Mike? Oh, he says, put Mike in the ring with Kamala. That would be interesting.
The citizens of this country are not garbage for wanting to be able to afford groceries and a nice place to live. But in 2 days, we are going to take out the trash in Washington, D.C., and the trash's name is Kamala Harris.
Those two messages there from Donald Trump and J.D. Vance. And my political panel is here with me. And Kristen Soltis Anderson, I should note, we just heard from Joe Rogan, who did an interview today with Elon Musk for his podcast. And he tweeted, "The great and powerful Elon Musk, if it wasn't for him, we'd be effed." He did not censor the word. He said, "He makes what I think is the most compelling case for Trump that you'll hear. And I agree with him every step of the way. For the record, yes, that's an endorsement of Trump." Between a Joe Rogan endorsement coming in the final hours before the election and what you just heard from Trump and Vance out on the trail today, what do you make as a pollster of this final message that we've heard from the Republican ticket that has been struggling to get women voters to their side?
Well, they're trying very much to make sure that young men in particular turn out. This is a group that the Trump campaign has really doubled down on. Republicans have struggled with young voters for almost 2 decades at this point. And Trump has really made a very intentional effort to try to turn that around at least halfway with young men, knowing that young women have flocked very heavily to Kamala Harris. And so while we're out of the persuasion phase of this campaign, to the extent that young men are a hard group to turn out, anything, I guess, can help in the final closing day.
Yeah, Shermichael, how do you see it as a Republican?
Oh, look, I think there are a lot of young men who feel dislocated from the broader society, whether that's economically, whether that's in terms of education, whether that's in terms of what their role should traditionally be. It was once upon a time, you were a man, you graduated from high school, maybe you learned a trade and got some skills, you got married, you took care of your family, and people believed that they were happy. That's not the case for many young men today of all ethnicities, not just white young men we focus a lot on, but all young men. And so I think the Republican message of traditionalism, wanting to provide some level of economic advantage to men is appealing to many who find themselves dislocated. And I think Trump's message on that appears to have been effective. We'll find out for sure tomorrow, but I think that's why the resonance is there.
Yeah, but Van, it's just interesting given who you're seeing Trump appear on the campaign trail with in the final stop. He brought Megyn Kelly on stage just a few moments ago. Obviously, that's someone he was trashing actually not that long ago. We never saw Nikki Haley come out on the campaign trail with him, even though she made clear, she was willing to do so. And we know that she had power with voters in key constituencies in places like Pennsylvania.
Trump is petty white. He's just petty, petty, petty. Won't let Nikki Haley come out. She's trying to help him. He doesn't want her help, and he'd rather win on vengeance and macho and all this sort of stuff. So when he gets in office, if he does get there, he's got a mandate to completely to stay nasty. On this point about young men, though, you say we're past the persuasion stage. I wish that were true. On the doors in Philadelphia, on the doors in Detroit, people are still in the fight to persuade young black men to come out. And the actual message that's working on the doors is Kamala Harris wants to lift you up, Donald Trump wants to lock you up. Kamala Harris has plans to get you a job, to get you help with housing, get you help with your next kid. Donald Trump wants to get stop and frisk back in place to put you in jail. He wants blanket immunity for cops to make sure that you can get beat up and nothing can be done about it. Kamala Harris wants to lift you up. Donald Trump wants to lock you up. Now, we've just discovered that is a breakthrough message in the past 72 hours. Don't forget, we had 100 days here to put together a whole campaign. So persuasion is happening right now. If you know some young African Americans who don't know if they're going to vote, Kamala Harris wants to lift them up. Donald Trump wants to lock them up.
I love a direct to camp from Van, always on election eve. Jamie, though, I should know, and Donald Trump, we just showed him speaking a few moments ago. He has been on stage for 2 hours now. He still has to fly to Grand Rapids, Michigan, has one more rally to go. That's going to be going late into the evening. But you've been doing reporting inside the Trump campaign on the messaging and also hearing from the Harris campaign on their strategy going into these next crucial 24 hours.
So, look, it's your reporting about what's going on inside the Trump campaign. And the campaign has been worried about all of these things that he's been saying since Madison Square Garden. I just want to say that I remember in 2016 when that man over there, we had grab him by the whatever, and everybody thought Hillary was going to win. I don't know that what Donald Trump is doing is going to lose him the election. Let me put it that way. The Harris campaign is cautiously optimistic, but they are also honest enough to say, we don't know.
Right.
They are also not sleeping.
Right.
The amount of binge watching of Netflix that is going on until 2 in the morning, as far as I can figure out, they are, caffeine, Emily in Paris, and some vibes. That was the word one person said to me. My vibes are that we're going to win, but they're not sure yet.
It's going to be tough. Look, here's the deal. We are.
Bernie Sanders just sounded skeptical of a Harris win.
Look, that whole Iowa poll thing got everybody all happy. That was just silly. That was a great pollster with a bad poll. We are behind in Pennsylvania, folks. We are behind. We're not where we're supposed to be in the early vote, and that means get up and go vote. Stand in long lines, do what you have to do. When she says she's the underdog, she is the underdog. And I think it's important for people, when you go to bed tonight, to think about, do I know anybody in a swing state? Can I text them? Can I call them? Can I push people to go vote? Democrats lost Florida in 2000 by 537 votes and 5 votes in the Supreme Court. So you know enough people to win this election, and we should not give up tonight. We should keep fighting tonight.
David Plouffe told Aaron earlier he thinks they can win all 7 states. Do you think that?
I think anything is possible. I have been counseling all of my friends who have been panic texting me, Kristen, what does your gut say? As I say, you need to prepare yourself for a wide range of outcomes. Just because the polls are close does not mean this will be close. Wow. It means that we are uncertain about what the outcome will be. And so you need to prepare yourself. Think of it like a hurricane that's coming. You have that cone of uncertainty. You don't know where it's going to hit. We have a very wide cone of uncertainty right now.
But Caitlin, I think about what propelled Trump to the presidency in 2016 and the viability of those things. Social cohesion is non-existent for many. Many believe the social norms of our country are fragmented. Income inequality persists. And Donald Trump, whether you like him or not, has been really great at pointing out a critique of each of those problems. And oftentimes people will say, I don't like his rhetoric, I don't like the way he behaves, but he's finally shining a spotlight on the things that I have been experiencing, that I've been complaining about for ages and ages and ages. And this critique isn't just of Democrats. You'll find many Republicans critique the Republican establishment about many of these things, which is why many will say, well, Liz Cheney doesn't persuade me. But she was a part of that problem.
You've identified Trump's great power, which is his power to point out problems. The thing is, he doesn't point out solutions that are real. And I think if Kamala Harris has a shot, it's because she has pointed to the ways. Look, we got to be honest. We got to quit lying to voters. The president can't help you that much. They can hurt you a bunch if they do terrible things, but they can help you a little bit. If you're going to have a baby next year, if Kamala's president, you get $6,000. It helps a little bit. If you want to buy a house, $25,000. It helps you a little bit. Want to start a business, $50,000. It can help you a little bit. The president can't change your neighborhood, can't make everything work for you, but a president who wants to can help you a little bit, and that's Kamala Harris. Donald Trump is going to raise prices through the roof with his tariffs, by deporting low-wage workers. He can hurt you a lot. Kamala can help you a little. Get that little bit of help and support this system.
But Vanna, I think people who support the former president would say his message is simple to understand. Mm-hmm. The economy doesn't work for me. He wants to fix it. Immigration, many will argue, is a problem in their local communities. He wants to address the border. They don't want their sons and daughters fighting in foreign conflicts that may lead to World War III. As some have stated, he's going to prevent it. So this is a simple response to the critique of the problems he's highlighted.
With no specifics, and all his answers actually make things worse, but I agree.
Yeah, we'll see. I love a good storm metaphor, 24 hours out from a highly close election.